If you want to know how prioritizing you helps you thrive, then this live is for you. Hello, welcome back to another live with Shalina B. I am Shalina B. Happy Tuesday to you all if you are watching live. Happy Wednesday, because that's the day that I typically post my lives on YouTube or any other day that you might be watching. As always, I appreciate your time that you spend with me, whether it's live, you're watching the replay. I always appreciate you sharing, commenting, and just connecting with me because I love connection. Connection is so important. Hey. So, again, thank you for joining another live with Shalina B. If you are new here, I am a go-to mom for family meals and routines, and I help my moms prioritize their self-care and create healthy, sustainable habits and routines for themselves and for the home, because that is very important. That is what I stand for, and that's a little bit of what I'm going to talk today. So again, the title is 3 Ways Prioritizing You Helps You Thrive. We have been on this spring refresh journey series that I've been doing live. So if you have not if you didn't catch the lives in that series, go check them out. But another special thing about May is I'm celebrating 5 years as a content creator, and so much has occurred since then in 5 years, and it's really amazing, how much I've been able to do, and it's amazing to think about all the other things that I will be able to do in the future. So I just want to take a moment to reflect on my past. I'm a big evaluator at heart. I love to reflect. I love to assess where I'm at. Assess where I'm going. I think it's just always good to really just know those things. I don't think you have to always plan super ahead, but it's good to know, where have I been? Where are my goals? Where am I going? Am I on track? Because sometimes it could be a year or two later and we can fall totally off track of our goals. So I really like to take time to just be in the moment and celebrate myself. I think that's something that's very important, to take time to celebrate ourselves at all stages, because I feel like as millennials, we are always about the what's next. So we kind of forget to take a pause, take a minute, and really just be proud of ourselves and where we are, and be proud of all the things that we accomplished, because we do so much, and we have so many roles, so many responsibilities, and we just show up 110% in all areas that we do. So it's just good to take a time to just congratulate yourself and celebrate yourself. So that is what I'm doing. So my last live was about my story and my journey over the past 5 years. And today we're going to talk about where PrioritizeHER came from, how I came up with that, what it means to me, and the 3 ways that prioritizing you will help you thrive as well. So I got about 30 minutes before my kids come home. So we're going to do a little quick thing here, because I know I could talk for about an hour. But basically, when I thought about this topic, those three points came to mind when PrioritizeHER came to be. And just a little background from the last live about just my 5-year journey. I basically started, I started on my online journey during the pandemic. Everything was shut down. We were at home from work, working at home. At the time, all of my outlets were typically outside, hot yoga, spending time with friends, going to eat, things like that. So I had to explore outlets at home, and the outlet that I chose was Instagram. And my mentor at the time was like, what do you enjoy doing? What can you do without getting paid, without making a profit? Just something that you can pour yourself into. And honestly, I like to pour myself into others, like pour into others. I like to thank you so much. Thank you, boo. I like to pour into others. I like to encourage others. So that's what I did. I got serious about being online, and I just started my journey of spreading positive messages, spreading encouragement, providing like wellness tips during a very uncertain time of the pandemic, how to take care of yourself, how to get oxygen, or just breathing, or going outside, getting that fresh air, just all of those things that I knew would help me as I was on my journey. So I wanted to help others as well. And through that, I realized that this was bigger than me. And I didn't realize that until these 3 points started to come into practice. So as I got serious in my journey along the way, I wanted to find a coach that could help me figure out this social media thing. So I found a branding and marketing coach who just so happened to also be a mom, and her content or her business tailored to moms at the time. And I thought that was really important for me because at the time I was a mom of 2, now a mom of 4. So I didn't really understand how to juggle the working mom with 2 kids and trying to do a hustle on the side. That was very new for me in this particular season. And I was able to understand the inner workings of social media and just understand how to show up, how to kind of organize my content, how to speak the language of content, how to be myself, in her kind of how to show myself and be myself in my content. Because sometimes when you're new, it can feel like you're under a camera and you kind of want to perform. And that's the thing. It's good not to be performative and to show it very authentic. But I think that there is some learning with that because, being on camera can kind of feel just out of place. So I learned a lot, and the first thing that I learned was to share your story. So that's the first point that we're going to talk about today. So the first way that prioritizing you helps you thrive is through your story. So as a content creator, I was going on this journey. I was spreading a lot of positive encouragement, but one thing that I did, but I don't think I really did it to my full capacity just yet, was to tell my story, because at the time I didn't know what my story was. And typically your story is like your path, is your pathway to what you are doing, why is important to you, like kind of the purpose behind what it is that you're doing. And at first, I feel like all of us have said this, I just want to help people. And that's true. I did want to help people, but I think thinking about my story helped me to go a little deeper than just I want to help people. And after I went deeper, I realized like, okay, I'm actually prioritizing her or prioritizing myself or, encouraging others really comes from maybe my younger self. Maybe some of the things that I wanted to be encouraged or told, some tips along the way, maybe the friend that I wish I had. But really where PrioritizeHER all came to be was from being a people pleaser, from putting other people's needs before mine, from lacking boundaries, from letting too many people have too much access to me because I feared rejection. I wanted to be accepted. So oftentimes I would maybe not show up as authentically as me to try to fit in. And all of this didn't feel good because one thing that I know, God blesses and promotes who he creates. So if I'm trying to be all these things that I'm not, he can't bless that person. He can't prioritize that person. And I think that I kind of dimmed my light because I didn't really understand what prioritizing myself meant. And I thought that was a bad thing to put myself first. Like we've all heard, putting other people first or putting ourselves last, or it's selfish to do this and that. I was also a part of, those things for what I'm told or societal beliefs that put those beliefs on me that you should put other people's needs first. Even growing up that way, it was kind of like you respect people, you don't have a voice, you do as you're told. So lacking that autonomy, you kind of get lost in the sauce, and you really got to figure out how to find your way through all of this. So I think being on social media, I got to learn myself and to really know who did I want to show up online, who am I going to be? Because one thing that they say, if you're online, the way that you show up, yes, everybody can change, but that's who people are going to remember you for. So if you're a person that's always joking and pranking, that's what they're going to expect out of you. So sometimes when you shift and you want to do something more serious, things will shift as well. And obviously things ebb and flow, so that's fine. But I took that serious, and I was like, I'm a funny person. I could be a serious person. I'm all the things, but I want to be me. I want to be authentic regardless. And those are the people that I want to attract, because I don't want to show up as something I'm not and then attract people that aren't for me and that can't relate to me. and just build an authentic community. That's not something that I wanted. So I was really, so it really took me on a journey, to really figure out who I am, and not even figure out who I am, but to show up who I am and to show that regardless. I think another thing that I feared was, what are people going to say? Either the people that I grew up with or people who knew me before, before I was on social media, like, what are they going to say? Or what are people going to think? But that was the biggest hurdle that I had to get over. And I think by telling my story, being authentic in my story, really just helped quiet the noise. And it really helped me connect to my creator, connect to God, to really be who I am, and to really just calm the noise. So all of those, so I call myself a recovering people pleaser, because now I'm at the point where if I feel myself people pleasing, if I feel myself lacking my boundaries, I am aware of it and it doesn't feel good, and I can immediately cut it off, and I can just give attention to what it needs to, so I can cut it off. And that's taken a while to do that, but I'm so happy that I've been able to do that. But I would say the first thing is to tell your story. So as you get online, if you're becoming a content creator, if you are just having a presence online and you feel yourself called to more, to bigger, make sure that you share your story. Make sure that you are remaining authentic in how you show up, because again, there are people out there that are waiting for you, are waiting for what you have to share. There's something that you have to say that they may need for that day. So you want to make sure that you're showing up the way that God has you showing up. I always say that if I help one person with my content or things that I do, that I have done enough. And that is my mission. That is my goal. That is my purpose, to show up that way, because it's not about me. And I've realized that over time. So first thing to prioritize you, to help you thrive, is to share your story. So again, not only does it help those that you are assigned to or your community online, but it also just helps you. It just helps you as well to just really love and see who you are, see how far you come, and embrace that person and share it with others. So the second way prioritizing you helps you thrive is your influence. So, as an influencer, whether you whether you call yourself influencer by name or you are an influential person and you are influencing people through your impact, how you show up matters. What kind of influence matters. Because I know on social media, all influencers aren't influential. And I think that sometimes it's because maybe they aren't relatable. Maybe they don't come off as authentic, or maybe some of the things that they share or they do may not be attainable. So it's hard to see yourself in that. It's hard to strive for that. So as myself, again, when I show up online, I don't often call myself an influencer, but I've been told that I'm influential, and I am okay with that, because my goal is to always have impact, to be impactful in my words, to always show up with value, and to show up as myself, because I know something that I'm going through is going to help somebody. Something that I'm sharing may be the thing that somebody else needs to hear. And sometimes I feel like the things that I go through, some solutions that I have, everybody has that solution, or everybody knows how to do the thing, but sometimes that's not true. So if there's something that you're sharing online, or something you feel like, well, I don't want to share this because everybody knows this, everybody may not know this. And I'm finding this out time and time again, that the things that I share with my friends, that or just share online, that it was helpful, and that makes me feel good. And it makes me realize, like, to put it out there. Don't hold back. Don't feel like you don't want to put it out there, because sometimes we will talk ourselves out of doing a thing, and I've done that so many times. But now I'm thinking about my purpose. I'm thinking about where God is leading me, and if I'm supposed to put it out there, I'm going to put it out there, and it's going to help somebody. And that is really how I show up authentic, and how I try to make sure that I live a life of impact, and that I am influential in how I show up. So always think about your influence. Think about, how you are representing your God, how you are representing your family, if you have a family, just how you want to show up. I think that is very important to to assess sometime how you want to show up for you and not for anybody else, obviously. Show how you want to show up, how you want to live your life, because that's very important. And it shows to other people who are looking for authenticity, other people who are looking for that connection will feel and see if you are the person that they want to connect with. And I'm thankful I've connected with a lot of y'all. I'm glad that y'all see me. I see y'all too. I think that's really, especially in this time too, just like in the pandemic, this is also a time to seek connection, to seek community, to just build those relationships, because day to day, we don't know what's going on out there. And I think for even more, we need to create that love and create those connections so we can look out for each other, during a very uncertain time. So connection and community was something very important to me then, and it's still important to me now. And this is also why, building this community has just been so important, through all of these times that we go through. Okay. So the third way prioritizing you helps you thrive is your purpose. And I've kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but thinking about your purpose and thinking about that it's bigger than you. And I think that has been helpful for me. I feel like God told me that maybe a year ago or maybe before then. But I felt like I felt him say, like, this is bigger than you. Like, I know that, you may not want to show up. You may feel this and that, but this is bigger than you. And I think that I needed that nudge to put myself out there, to make sure that I'm connecting, to give it to God with how I may feel or who may interpret what, or, how, people may feel like I show up. I had to let that go, because I'm like, I know God has things in store for me. I know that I've always prayed that I would be able to tell my story, and God is literally providing platforms for me to share my story, to be influential and be impactful, and and for this bigger purpose that he has for my life. And through creating PrioritizeHER, through the community that we've built, I've realized that not only is this a bigger purpose and it's bigger than me, but it has now become my ministry. And I didn't really know how to, obviously I am a believer, of God, of Jesus, and that is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And that is who I worship and what I represent. But I didn't want my platform to feel very preachy. I wanted to be natural. I really wanted to show up, and I wanted people to see me, not by my words, but by my spirit, by my actions, to know, oh, she's a believer. I know, she loves God. And I think that through this past year or so, it becoming my ministry, it helped me to show up in that way. And it is natural just to talk about God, because, that's my homie. That I have a great relationship, and continuing to build my relationship with God. And I feel like I can't do this without him. And I feel like I prayed for this, and I prayed for the platform, and he has given it to me. And when God gives you something, you give him all the glory. So I can't do this without him. And I was kind of worried about showing up that way. But thank God it has come out the way it's come out. And, those who gravitate to it, they get it. And, if they don't, that's okay. And that's the beauty of the internet. There are billions of people that anyone can connect with. If maybe this person you don't connect with, you don't align with, there are a lot of others that you possibly can align with. But I am glad that those that do align with me are here, and I love connecting with you all, and I hope that we continue to build a bigger community and a supportive community and a loving community. And I'm just excited to see where it grows in the next 5 years. So the last part about my ministry, it being my ministry, and I feel like I think the bigger part of it came because PrioritizeHER, like I said, I think it came from me as a child, like I said, putting everybody's needs before me. I even felt like my dad didn't prioritize me. That's a whole, separate part of it. But those are the things that I've worked through in therapy. And I've learned, some of those childhood things can affect how you show up and affect how you allow people in your life, and you allow people to have access to your life. And I think all those things came out, and thank God for therapy, I was able to get through those things. But as I had my family, as I stewarded my family, that's another thing that God has helped me with, to understand stewarding my family has been very important. He also has been telling me, help other moms, or through your ministry, minister to other moms to steward their families. And that through that, prioritizing themselves has been the key to doing that. So, and the way that I always talk about prioritizing yourselves is, of course, making time for self-care, making time for your passions and ambitions. But the one thing that we all know as busy moms and busy women, when do we have the time? We don't often prioritize that self-care and that time. And sometimes we don't even know that we could, we didn't see it growing up, or if we don't know how to do it because we don't feel like we deserve it, or we have this belief system that tells us not to, it's hard for us to do that. So through my content, I always talk about routines and systems and habits, because those are the things that help to transform. So you have the mindset part of it that helps you rework the perspectives and beliefs and mindset shifts of those beliefs that you have been told, or the expectations and things that have been put on you. But having those healthy habits, creating those routines and those systems, those are kind of, for me, those are the catalysts for you to prioritize yourself. When you have a meal plan, when you have a after school morning routine for your kids, so the morning and the afternoons run a little smoother. When you have nighttime routines, when you have cleaning and laundry routines for everyone in the house, when you are able to connect with your husband to go over your budget, bills, your schedule for the week, who's cooking what, and who's taking what kid to what place, you are able to then see your schedule and understand what time you may have. And if you feel like you still don't have time, that's a time for you to really sit down with your husband and comb it over. And I feel like also through that, I found that women don't know how to talk to their husband, or don't know how to communicate their needs. And I was one of those as well. I didn't have that model growing up, so I didn't know how to. I just knew to go and be independent and figure it out. But through time and trial and error process, I realized that communicating with my needs to my husband was the best thing I could have ever done, because that's how I am able to get these needs met, and that's how we're able to work together as a team, so I don't get forgotten and I don't get left out of our schedule, because that's what happens sometimes. We will schedule everything for everybody in the family, and whatever's left, sometimes that's all we would have, and oftentimes we don't have much left. So my desire is to always to help you prioritize yourself first. And, first may seem a little scary, but after a while of changing those beliefs and really just understanding your schedule, it's not. And then you're able to help your kids understand that you matter as well, and that, prioritizing your needs is okay. I just went out of town over the weekend to celebrate my son's birthday, and my kids were like, bye, we'll see you when you get back. I go to work in the evenings after my husband gets home and the kids get settled, because that's kind of the time frame that we've talked about right now. And they understand that is mommy's time to work. We have our time to spend together, and that is our time to work. So I feel like me and my husband really talking through that, but me advocating for myself and speaking up and communicating about those things have really helped just make sure that I do spend that time for myself. So I just wanted to jump in here really quick to talk about those 3 things. Again, 3 ways to prioritizing yourself helps you thrive. It's your story, your influence, and your purpose. So go back and listen to those. Think about how they apply to you, whether you are a content creator, however you show up in life, or those that you impact, because we all impact somebody, not just online, but in our daily walk. Maybe you have a ministry that you're a part of, or a ministry that you are led to, you are called to, or God, or you're going to create one day. These are the 3 things that you really should think about. Your story, your influence, and your purpose when you show up in those different ways. And at this time, I want to invite you to the PrioritizeHER challenge. I am so excited. So as I close out the month of May, the month that I am celebrating my 5th year anniversary, which is on Mother's Day actually, but I'm going to host a PrioritizeHER week. I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to be so cool. So one thing that I'm going to be doing for PrioritizeHER week, I'm going to have a challenge, and that challenge is a 7-day journey to help you reconnect with you, to pour into your well-being and create space for what matters most. So it'll be small shifts, small things that can prioritize your peace, rebuild your rhythm and create more joy, intention, and clarity. So I'm just excited to present this challenge. You're gonna receive some daily prompts, some things that you can do, small things. Because the thing I know about habits, you start small and then you build those habits over time to create that routine, and eventually you create that system for the thing that you desire. So I just want to be able to pour into you, to give you some resources and tools. Maybe you have fallen off. Maybe you feel like you are at a place where you're ready to create some new habits. I know that I need to get back on my healthy habits and my healthy goals, because after out of town and these last couple of weeks, I haven't been eating the greatest. So I know that I definitely want to get back on my regimens and workouts and things as well. So I will be doing this along with you. So if you are interested in joining the challenge, after I post, you can actually either type in this live now, you can type her or link, and I will send you the link. Or if you're watching the replay, if you are on Instagram, the replay or the link will automatically be sent to you. If you comment her or you comment link, it will be sent directly to your DMs. If you are, and I will send that to you, Jen. Thank you, boo. And if you are on YouTube, the link will be in my bio. I will make sure that the link is in the description, actually. The link will be in the description. I forgot that you can click on links. So I will make sure that that link is in the description and it is available to my YouTube. And then if you are already a subscriber of my newsletter, you will receive that in your email pretty soon. So I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to celebrate this moment. I'm so excited to celebrate myself, because I don't often celebrate out loud. So this is a time for me to celebrate and to share with all of you all, because it's my win, but it's a community win, because I couldn't do this without you, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't have you all as a part of this journey. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Jen, for hanging out with me, girl. That's it. I'm going to sign off. I will send you that link. I'm going to text you the link, girl. I'm going to send you the link. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing Tuesday, and we'll be back with another live next time. So have a wonderful day, and we'll talk later. Bye.